Yo, what is up, guys? It is XO here, and finally, it is great to be back. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed my last video. I learned how to edit a little bit more, and I'm still learning. I have more effects, and I still didn't get my background music, but I am gonna get that soon. But what I want to talk about today is more like a story that happened about a week ago. Uh, Fuck with this, and then you tweak it. How? Alright, it was it was me, my my cousin, the one I did a smack cam on, my 19-year-old friend, he's like a family friend, and my 17-year-old, family friend, like whatever. And then my cousin's friend, he's also like we're all friends. And we went to the water park, so let's get right into it. We had the 4 season pass, and on the season pass, you're supposed to put a picture on it, so like people know, like the people that work there know it's you, like so you can't basically cheat your way in or use someone else's season pass. It's supposed to have a picture on it, but since it says Utah, the whole point is like apparently if you're from Utah, you don't have to have a picture. But like when you go in, you're supposed to say, yeah, we're from Utah because it says Utah on it. Because my dad bought it from his friend that's from Utah, and he gave it to us like hella cheap. But our like my dumbass friends, they were like all speaking Spanish like hella fast. Like you can tell we weren't from Utah, like straight up. But the lady, she's like, "Are you guys from Utah?" And we're like, "Yeah." And then they're like, "See," and like, "What the fuck?" And she's like, and we're like, "Yes." And then she's like, all right." And then we went in, and the whole time we were just looking at asses, because there's like a lot of girls there, bikini, thick, nice, juicy, you know what I'm saying? Some of you guys won't understand, but there's this one ride. We went to like, so the first ride, it was like, oh wait, the first ride is like a half pipe, and it's like 4 people. So it was me and the two older guys. We all sat in, right? And they're really crazy, and they're from Cuba, and Cuba's like a savage place, and it's like really crazy. Everybody has a girlfriend. It's like different from here. And the first thing, like when we get on, the girl that was helping us that works there, they're like, "Oh, you want to come in?" But they say in Spanish, right? And the girl speaks Spanish, and they're like, and she's like, "Oh, I can't. I'm working." And then she's like, and we're like, "Oh, no, no, sorry, sorry, just come on." And that was pretty crazy because it goes like straight, it drops, and you don't feel the drop that much, but then it drops again, like really, really drops, and like, oh my God, like your heart would just beat like crazy. And it was just like we went really, really high, and there was a point where like I hit this thing, like we hit this thing on the like the float thing, and I like flew out of my seat, and I was still holding on, and like my ass was like higher than my fucking like elbows and everything. Like I flew really high, and I still like obviously I didn't fall, but like that part, I like that ride. That ride is probably the best one we had. And then after that, we went into the pool. We started eating. We chilled a lot, and then we went back to the ride. So we went to the same ride after we rode like a few more, and the lines were like really long, so like it took a lot like long ass time to get there. But we went to the same ride, and it was the same, same people because there was 5 of us and the seats were only four. It's not fair for that one person, so we decided to do 3 and 2. So the two younger kids, they'll go by themselves, and it'll be us, the 3 older ones, would go, by ourselves. And when we would wait for them, we had to wait, and we'll catch up. But then we went. Okay, so once we dropped in, and once like you started going up the second part, because you drop and then you go up, like they're like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, baby, and they try to give each other a high five. Once we're like in mid-air, we're basically like on the edge, and they're like high five, yeah. And when they gave a high five, one of them, the younger one, the 17-year-old, he he like lets go on accident, and then he falls, and he's still basically on the ride, and we just left him there because we couldn't do anything about it. He fell off, and then we just kept going, and once we reach the thing, we see like we look up on the stairs, and we see him like jogging, like jogging like barefooted, like it's all slippery, and he's like jogging slowly, and we look up, and like on the stairs, like the line, everybody's like cheering, like woo, and we're like yeah, we're like hey, let's go, and then everybody's like screaming and like yelling for us, And like we're all like, you know how the rock sign, we're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. Like that shit was so fun and funny. Oh my god, you guys don't understand. And then the person that works there, the girl, she's like, did you guys do that on purpose? And we're like, no, no, it was an accident. And then she was asking him questions, and then like he doesn't speak Spanish, and I mean English, and then he's like, no, no, picky, no, picky English. And then we started dying, and like everybody up there was like, yeah. And then the other two kids came down, and then we chilled again. We went to the wave pool. We got really tired, and then we went to the last ride. This ride is the only ride that we didn't get to ride last time because this was our second time going there. The first time we went, it was just me, my mom, my dad, and the older one, the 19-year-old, and we went to all the rides except for two. And the one that we didn't get to, we went to the second time, all of us together. And then there's this last one. It was a single rider. It was like you go into, it's like the really fast one. It's one of the fastest ones. You go into the tube, like you go straight down really fast, and you turn left and you turn right and you go down again. And it's really, 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 really fast in the small tube. And when you like end up, you can see like the underwear, like people, it leaves their underwear like up in their ass cheeks, like gives you a big ass wedgie. And that's the one that we weren't gonna go to. Like we were all scared and everything. That's the only one we didn't want to go to. And at the end, we're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna do this. And I didn't know they were gonna go. They all like were running. And when I started running behind them, I'm like, where are you guys going? And I see them all waiting the line, and they're like, oh my god. And everybody's like, okay, we're gonna go, and everybody we're gonna take turns. And then we once we get there, like I see my little cousin right there, and he's the first one. And then once he got like, it's a rocket ship. It's the whole ride is like a rocket ship. It's like it's like a little rocket ship, right? It's open with the windshield. You go inside, like you put on the platform. You have to cross your hands, cross your feet. They close like this windshield, and there's like a platform, this little red platform that you stand on it, and like once like they're ready, the platform drops, and then you fall into the tube, and it goes straight down like really fast. And just looking at it from the top, it looks so scary. Like we're all like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And we all thought like, oh my god. And then I'm like, I'm not going this. I don't care. Call me a pussy, but I'm not going this. And then they all went, and then it was me and the 19-year-old, and we're like, I'm like, if you go, I'll go. And once he went, like he goes there, like, oh yeah, like they're all screaming down there, and I can hear them. And then it was my turn, and I'm like, oh my god. And I could hear my heart beating. He was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And I'm like in there, and I'm praying, and I'm like, holy fuck. And then once I step in, the guy closes the windshield thing, and I'm just in there, and I'm like, oh my god. And I'm looking at everybody, and everybody's like in the line, and everybody's looking at me, and I'm like, oh shit. And I actually managed to find a video of the ride. It shows how the ride looks like. The guy had like a GoPro or something. It shows like the outside when you step in the castle thing, and then it shows when how fast it goes down. And I'll put that in the description because I don't want to get any copyright strikes or anything like that. But if you really want to see it, I'll put it in the description below. I'll just call it Cowabunga, or I'll call it Water Park Ride, Rocket Ship, whatever. And you guys can check that out. It's like it looks really cool. And of course, you know, I was really scared of it. You know, once I got in, it's just like. So let me just keep going. All right, I step in, and it's supposed to like he presses the button, and then in 5 seconds, oh right here I almost got the VSAT and I died. Once you press the button, you wait like it waits 5 seconds, and then that trap door under you, it falls, and then that means you fall, of course. And it was like I step in, I'm like, oh my god. And like the water is like inside is like closed space, and the water is just running, so like there's water like coming in your face. Kind of sound kind of wrong, but um and then like I wait 20 seconds, like I'm like close my eyes, and I'm like, come on, come on, come on, please God, don't. Come on, come on. Like I hear my heart beating again, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I gotta do it. I'm not a pussy. They did it. I promised myself I gotta do it. It's only really quick. You'll get over it, like, you know. And I wait 20 seconds, and I'm like, oh my god. And then the guy's like, all right, get out. And I'm like, what? And then everybody in line, and I'm just looking at everybody in line, and I'm like, oh my god. And everybody's like laughing. They're like, oh my god. And like I see people in line, they're like praying, like they cross their heart and everything. And I'm like, oh my god. And he's like, all right, step in again. and I step in, and the same thing happens. I'm like, oh my God, the machine's not working, and it makes me even more scared. Like it makes me more nervous. I just want to get it over with. And he's like, step out again, and I'm like, oh my God, and everybody's just like looking, they're like laughing, they're like, damn. And then like this other guy comes up and he's like, "Oh yeah, just make sure you press the button really hard." And like there's something that I had to do downstairs, like down on the bottom. And I'm like, "Oh my God, if this machine is just gonna work." And he's like, "Yeah, that would have sucked if like as soon as I like walk in like the plate, like I don't have any time to like get comfortable, and like what if like I just walked in and it falls with like 1 feet hanging out, like you know what I'm saying?" And then the third time when I go in, he's like, "All right, it should work this time." And I have my eyes closed, and the guy that works there, he gets his hand and he just smacks like the windshield, and it makes a loud noise. Because keep in mind, the thing like that I'm in is like close space, and he like smashed his hand against it, makes a loud noise, and I'm like, oh my God. And he's like counting with his hand, and I'm like, oh my God. And that makes me even more scared. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then everybody's laughing, and then finally the ride works. I go down really fast, and it was just like, oh my God, like my feet got uncrossed like in the process because you're supposed to cross your feet, and then I had to cross it back because I was not ready. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the story. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Look in the description if you want to check out the ride too.